Trump is officially making significant moves around crypto, and it all really begins with the realignment of the overall regulatory framework within the US to support the crypto industry and provide clarity for it as well. But on top of this, we also have a ton of other things to address and why these moves are actually very significant, even though he's not in office yet. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. So number one, we have to talk about the new crypto czar. We have President-elect Trump says his new crypto czar, David Sachs, will work on legal framework so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for. Now, the number one thing that I want you guys to understand is this is very bullish for US-based companies. I keep saying this. When you look at Coinbase, when you look at Ripple, when you look at Hedera, when you look at Stellar, like these are the big players that you want to start, focusing on. And yes, there's other ones, Cardano, Algorand, etc. But right now is the best time to lock in and do some research. Why? Well, if we are going to move into a pro-crypto admin, and we are about to see crypto fully supported in the US. We're about to see a complete restructuring of the overall regulatory landscape in the US, and we are also going to see clarity in the US. What do you think happens after? The adoption and utilization of the technology. And what does that mean for these players that will be tapped in? Well, it means that the underlying asset and networks that are going to be utilized are going to become extremely valuable. Now, on top of this, let's get some more information on this. We have over here, President Trump announces that David Sachs will be the White House AI and crypto czar. The two breakdowns here are, I'm pleased to announce that David O. Sachs will be the White House AI and crypto czar. In this important role, David will guide policy for the administration in artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency, two areas critical to the future of American competitiveness. David will focus on making America the clear global leader in both areas. He will safeguard free speech online and steer us away from big tech bias and censorship. He will work on a legal framework so the crypto industry has the clarity it has been asking for and can thrive in the US. David will also lead the Presidential Council of Advisors for Science and Technology. Now, also over here, we have David Sachs has been an extremely successful entrepreneur and investor for 25 years, building and investing in some of the most iconic companies in Silicon Valley. He was PayPal's founding era COO, part of the legendary PayPal Mafia. David then founded enterprise software company Yammer, which was acquired by Microsoft for $1.2 billion. Subsequently, he founded Craft Ventures, a venture capital firm based in San Francisco. David is co-host of the All In podcast, the top podcast in tech, where he and his friends discuss economic, political, and social issues. David has the knowledge, the business experience, the intelligence, and pragmatism to make America great in these two critical technologies. Congratulations, David. So yeah, I mean, this is a very, very big discussion happening right now around crypto because this is a very big support, push from Trump, but also it's what he says, right? It's to make sure that America is the clear global leader in both areas. Now, why is AI and cryptocurrency bunched up in this conversation? It's because AI requires blockchain. I've said this a million times on this channel. Blockchain unlocks the black box behind AI, meaning you are going to be able to see what AI is doing transparently. You are going to allow, programmable smart contracts to ultimately control AI and make sure that it is not going rogue. There is a very big thing happening right now around this space where big players are actually looking at utilizing blockchain to help the overall world adopt AI at scale. And blockchain is the secret sauce. So that's why these two are actually bunched together in this conversation. But on top of this, I also want to go over here because we have from David Sachs in regards to the XRP rolling all the way back in July of 2023. Big rolling for crypto. This is a support call for Ripple and XRP essentially in their fight against the SEC. But also over here, we have Donald Trump's newly appointed crypto czar, David Sachs, discussed the rolling regarding Ripple and XRP, stating they won. Big shout out to Bank XRP for this clip. Check it out.
To figure this out in real time. This is too complicated. The bottom line is that the headline is...
Well, I just want to make sure the audience gets it, yeah.
Look, the headline is, I'm reading the tweet, Ripple sales of XRP do not constitute offer of investment contracts, according to Judge. They won.
They won.
This is a huge vindication for them. And the XRP is ripping 35%.
Yeah. And it really handcuffs the SEC. What are they going to do about Coinbase and every other exchange? I mean, if they're not selling securities, I think Coinbase and everybody else has always maintained they're selling tokens. This was the fulcrum argument for the SEC, and they just lost.
The whole crypto market is ripping right now.
It's an interesting one. The confounding part of this is that the initial sale to accredited investors and hedge funds was done that they violated securities law there when they were selling directly to sophisticated investors. Just looking at it logically, you would think it was the reverse. But this is a fascinating turn of events.
I just texted with Brad Garlinghouse, and he says, yes, it does mean that they won. And he feels
vindicated
and really happy about the...
How do you feel, JCal?
Well, I feel like I'm going to launch Jcoin and sell a token to back startups. I mean, if it's a free-for-all
I won't tell you what he said about
FJCal.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I said from
you
the
were
beginning,
accusing these guys of security fraud for like the
I think
last
it is,
several years.
Well, they've been convicted of securities fraud here. So it's a two-part judgment. Ripple violated federal securities law in its sale of cryptocurrency, the first line of the story. There's two judgments here. They violated federal securities law in its sale of cryptocurrency XRP directly to sophisticated investors, but the sales on public exchanges did not involve securities. So what they're saying is, if you sold XRP to hedge funds, that was a security when they did the first offering. But when the public started trading it on public exchanges, they did not have, according to the Howey test, this belief.
But that's where their vulnerability was, because if you sell to a professional hedge fund, they're accredited.
That should not be an issue. You should be able to sell to accredited.
Right. So what's the problem? This is exoneration for them.
The judge says they lost
sound pretty happy, and the market seems to be indicating that this is... I mean, would you say the price is up 35%?
Well, I mean, the public...
Up to 37% right now.
Crypto trades, I wouldn't necessarily put too much on it. I would look at the actual judgment here, but we all know people trade headlines, so let's see where it's at in 5 days. But
a bunch of the altcoins are ripping right now.
So there you guys have it, right? Now, the big focus right now currently within the US is what happens next, because as we really look at the environment, it is still hostile until Gary Gensler is out and until the new admin takes place. But if we go over here from Brad Garlinghouse, we have huge congrats to David Sachs on this appointment. He understands tech inside and out, and importantly, will push forward President Trump's crypto and AI pro innovation plans dream team. So love to see it. Again, this is a big, +1 from Brad, but also Stuart Alderati, CLO of Ripple, saying another great pick by the Trump administration. David Sachs will bring the pro business, pro innovation, and fresh perspectives we need. Excited to work with David and the industry to finally establish clear rules of the road for crypto in the US. The future starts now. These are very, very big words, and I do think that as Ripple is a US-based company, they understand how crucial this actually is for innovation, acceptance, adoption, and even utilization really is when it comes to regulations, because regulations enable all of that. So I do think that this is a very big deal, and it is a big start. Now, like I said, is this, a big celebration? Not exactly, because we still have Gary Gensler in the SEC, and we actually have here, instead of standing down and pausing crypto litigation with the new leadership just weeks away, Gensler's SEC filed an 81-page brief in the Binance case yesterday, recycling the same failed arguments, including the absurd and unsupported claim that crypto has no inherent value. Listen, these This SEC right now is so hostile. Gary Gensler is an enemy at this current moment for crypto. And I think that it's very clear at this point that they have absolutely zero initiative to work with this space, to work with this industry. They don't want to work with this industry. They don't even want to see this industry prosper. This is an absolute joke. And by the way, yes, the SEC actually mentioned XRP on page 22, which does say that basically the buyers would have been aware of Ripple's marketing campaign and public statements connecting XRP's price to its own efforts, basically saying that Ripple is trying to push the XRP price for themselves. Like, it's just a ridiculous statement. This is exactly why, we can't wait for the SEC to finally be restructured. But also talking more about that, as this is still going on in the US, we have President Putin says Bitcoin digital assets will continue to develop. On top of this, we also have Circle's USDC becomes the first stablecoin to meet Canada's new crypto listing rules. Like, it's actually crazy to me that all around the world, we are starting to see a progressive push when it comes to crypto, yet in the US, we still have the SEC dragging their feet. This is a problem. And also remember that Mika does go into entry at the end of this year. Actually, at the end of this month, I should say, which is a very big deal. All of this is accelerating the reason why we need right now in the US to be pro-crypto, pro-innovation, and start to really put in the work to accept these US-based companies with open arms. Now, also, we did get a big update around who the next SEC chair is going to be. It's going to be Paul Atkins. We got that announcement on the 4th. And of course, we do have from Brad Garlinghouse here saying an outstanding choice. Paul Atkins at the helm of the SEC will bring common sense back to the agency along with Hester Pierce and Mark Uyeda. It's time to swiftly and definitively end the prohibition era on crypto, restoring freedom of choice, economic growth, and also innovation. And even Brian Brooks giving the nod saying, hey, my friend Paul Atkins will be an absolutely fantastic leader of the SEC. Great things ahead for U.S. capital markets and all that entails. And of course, we know that Brian Brooks is also very pro-crypto, pro-tech. And I just think that we are starting to see the entire environment change around this space. And I also want to end this off with some connections back to Paul Atkins with, of course, Ripple and XRP. Big shout out to Cowboy Crypto for this. Paul Atkins has been a member of the Securitize Advisory Board since 2019. Ripple happens to be an investor in Securitize alongside Santander, SBI, Sony, Coinbase, and even Blockchain Capital, to name a few. And of course, Securitize is also saying, hey, congratulations to their advisory board member, Paul Atkins, with his nomination to be the next SEC chairman. We're very excited about the possibility of Paul Atkins being the chairman of the SEC. I think this is really good for the industry overall, not just necessarily for us. And listen, Paul has been a very big pro-crypto individual for a very long time. They can go all the way back to 2019, for an example, when they even say Atkins has been a member of our advisory board since 2019 and is very active in the Chamber of Digital Commerce, known for streamlining regulation and being very pro-digital assets. We look forward to more clarity and collaboration in the crypto industry. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen, right? We're going to start to see accelerated moves happening around the regulatory side of things because outside of the US, we just can't wait. We just can't wait. You have Russia pushing forward. You have Canada pushing forward. You have the EU pushing forward. You have the UK pushing forward. You have the UAE pushing forward. And that's just to name a few. The entire world is waking up to how important this technology is going to be, how massive it's going to be for economic growth. And it's also going to ultimately dominate the global financial system. So as we really look at this, we can't afford to miss out on being pro-crypto, being pro-innovation, and starting to accept these companies for what they are doing, and the tech behind them. Because if we let this pass us by, it will be the biggest mistake that the US has ever made. So now is the time to act, and I do believe that we are about to witness this in 2025. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.